Short films are one of my favourite mediums, not only in watching but also making. They can often be seen as the little sibling of full-length features, as if they haven't earned their place yet. I don't think that they tend to get the love or credit that they deserve. For as long as there has been fiction, there have been short stories. So let's discuss it and talk about short films' place in cinema. Short films are categorised as films which have a runtime below 40 minutes, including credits, which is a category so many amazing stories, both documentary and fiction, fall into. Good fiction, to me at least, hides a bit of the truth in there. Real emotions from an artist expressing themselves, something that can get a reaction, even just something that makes you smile. The time you spend with a piece of art can fundamentally change your experience with it. Take a painting as a prime example. Sometimes your first impressions and impact of a piece can be stronger than if you spend more time with it. Just how sometimes the more time you spend with one, the more you'll get from it, seeing new things. I think short films are in a uniquely creative place where you can tell short, sharp ideas to be in and out, still having a full beginning, middle and end, or experiment and taking one of them out. They can be great creative testing grounds in a lower stakes environment. It's the expected career path of filmmakers, learning the ropes in short films and music videos, gradually working their way up to telling bigger stories. That's something I adore about especially short film festivals such as Two Short Nights. You are seeing stories from new and emerging artists, fresh voices putting their all into projects they are infectiously passionate about. I cannot recommend enough taking a filmmaker you love and seeking out their old short films from an earlier stage in their career, seeing ideas and motifs that they've maybe explored again, or even just seeing hints as to the artist they're about to become. Often, it can be about finding the right medium for a story, not only in the duration of a film, but maybe something is better suited for the written word or a video game. One of my favourite pieces of art is an animated short called The House of Small Cubes, which is a touching story of a look back through a man's life. It perfectly lives and breathes in its tight 12-minute runtime, giving you all the information and emotional investment you need for an impactful story. And while I could stay in this fictional world forever, it is a story best suited to the medium within which it is told. Expanding it out into a feature or beyond would diminish it and take away from the impact of the piece, with that ending hitting with a gut punch. Which, given the medium, is a bittersweet irony about how much of his life the film covers. I think some of the emotional power can be in the clear focus that a lot of the narratives have to adopt, keeping it short and concise, often taking out dialogue.
Particularly short film, when you try to write the script for a short film, it's very difficult to write a short film. I think in some ways it's harder than for a feature to have a complete idea in just a few minutes.
Something I know it took me a while to learn in my own work is to play to the strengths of the medium. One of my previous shorts suffers from my script having 3 feature films worth of story, and I was so excited to be able to tell every single audience member about it all that I condensed all of that into 15 minutes. Forgetting to tell a tale more suited to the medium it's actually in. Something that I love doing is treating short films almost as a capsule of tone and atmosphere. Even if it's a surreal comedy or a piece to evoke existential dread, just having the audience sit in that for the duration is such a treat, especially as trailers can be considered short films in themselves, selling the tone and story of the feature when done well. Right, you've got your short, now what? This all leads me on to the exhibition of short films. There's clearly a hunger from audiences for these shorter form stories. Look at the popularity of anthology shows, telling unique, fully rounded, challenging tales. My favourite old tradition that died a death but I feel should make a return is the short film in front of the feature. What a way to set yourself up tonally and mentally for a longer experience. Some people who are still keeping this tradition alive are Pixar, seeing the benefit of shorts beyond just testing talent and technology, but to tell emotionally engaging stories. I have lifted and knick-knack ingrained in my head arguably more than the features themselves, as I was at the age where I almost felt like I dreamt them, only remembering music and a few still images. People love inserting themselves into the fiction they enjoy with how they've watched it. It's something that when welcoming art into our lives, we only naturally do. Oh yeah, I watched that in the cinema. That's the show I used to watch with my sister, because while watching, of course we only see the film itself, but we still see all the screen and everything around it. And the way these films are shown is something you tend to get a lot more freedom with in short films, either in having some of them find an audience online, or the current trend of surrealism on TikTok, where the audience can be more directly engaged with the material, even having their input influence the next piece, having it as more of a conversation between artist and audience. Or the way that something like The Backrooms can spawn off so much lore, supporting material and fan art earning millions of views, because a way a film is viewed can completely change your experience, and sometimes your opinion of the work. The perfect way to watch the Blair Witch Project, for example, is to have seen it in the name of the genre it popularised, found footage. Imagine walking in the woods and picking up a camera, only to watch this back on the small screen. One of the things that I adore about narrative filmmaking is that if you get the story right, then you can film something on a potato and it can still be enthralling and captivating. That's why short film festivals like Two Short Nights are so important. Celebrating short films as vehicles for telling emotionally engaging stories on the big screen, or even just with a wider audience. It's also not just the case of having it played on a screen the size of the wall, but the most important thing, for me at least, is having that communal shared experience. Laughing or gasping as the story unfolds, sharing that experience with a room of friends and strangers, giving the work an engaged audience who are hungry to see it. As a filmmaker, of course one day, I would love to explore creating feature films, but for now, I'm really enjoying telling the smaller stuff. So here's to the stories we tell, and the mediums within which we tell them. Thank you to the Exeter Phoenix for commissioning me to make this video essay for their 2023 Two Short Nights Festival. I've had a lot of fun exploring this, and I can't wait to be there.